Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sybil with SybilTravels, and I talk about, as you may be expecting, all things travel. So I am a flight attendant, primarily domestic. We do some international routes as well, and I also travel a lot personally. So it's been a couple weeks since I've given you guys a new video, and there's been a reason for that. You guys know what's going on in the media with the coronavirus and everything that's going on with that. I recently took a vacation to Mexico, Cancun area, to the Royalton Suites Cancun, and I wanted to give you guys a resort tour for the first time in a couple of months. I hope you enjoy it. So with this resort tour, I'm gonna go over the things that I liked about the resort, the things I didn't like so much about the resort. The Royalton Suites Cancun is a relatively new resort. It's been open for about a year, a little over a year, and this is probably the 5th Royalton resort that I've been to. I'll put somewhere above a link to my last Royalton review for you. Royalton in general is very similar, the way it designs its resorts and the service that you get at its resort, so I was expecting a lot from this particular resort. Didn't meet my expectations. Well, I'll give you a wrap up at the end, and I guess we'll tell you what my opinion is, whether I'll go back. If you're not interested in hearing my review or my opinion about what happened with the resort, I'll also put the link somewhere either above or in the description of what minute and second to jump to so you can get right to the resort tour. So we're gonna talk about what I liked. It was a new property. It was beautifully designed. They did a great job architecturally with the amount of space that they had. If you've ever been to the hotel zone in Cancun, you'll know that there's not a lot of space left. It is very cram-packed with resorts in that area. So building another resort, I'm sure that they took down something else to build this resort. It's a really big resort for this particular area, but like I said, they did it very beautifully with the amount of space that they had. The rooms are spacious, which, like I said, I've been to the Royalton before. The rooms are very, very similar. In this particular area, I expected smaller rooms, but this was actually a lesser expensive room. It was a junior suite, and I was happy with the amount of space we had. We had 3 people in our room, and we had no problems with having plenty of space for all 3 people. I will let you know the way they designed the bathrooms, they try to make everything open concept. So there's not actually a doorway shutting off the bathrooms from the rest of the room. There's a wall, and then there's an opening into the area where it has the sinks. And then there's a closed off shower that has a door, and a closed off toilet area, washroom, whatever you're gonna call that, but it's basically the toilet behind a frosted glass door. So just be aware if you're bringing not so much your significant other, but a bunch of friends, that there is a little bit of a privacy issue there, but we made it work, so it wasn't a big deal. I will tell you, if you've been to the hotel zone, that you know that there is an ocean view and there's a lagoon view. If you look over the lagoon way over far, you can see the ocean as well, but it's very different views. So the ocean view is going to be your sunrise view, your lagoon view is going to be your sunset view. So we chose a sunset view because honestly, we just were thinking about price. We weren't looking at to spend a lot of money. We just wanted to get away and go to the beach, have some warmth and sun, and get away from the depressing rain that's been happening here in Dallas-Fort Worth for what feels like months, even though it's probably only been 3 weeks. So it's very clear when you're doing your booking, we booked online, whether or not you're choosing an ocean view versus a sunset or lagoon view. I will tell you, when you get there, don't expect a free upgrade. So if you book a sunset, it is less expensive. If you want to move to an ocean view, they are going to charge you to move over, and it's basically just across the hallway, but they're still going to charge you because it's considered a better view. Whether it is or not, that's, a personal opinion. Honestly, we weren't in the room enough to even see the sunrise or the sunset, so it didn't matter to us. I wouldn't expect that they're just going to upgrade you for free, because honestly, they actually charged for a couple things at this particular resort that I wasn't expecting. When they say the checkout time is whatever, it was noon at this particular resort, the checkout time is noon. If you go past 15 minutes, they're going to start charging you. We tried to get an upgrade or an extension for an hour, and they said that was a no-go. They would have charged us for it. So we had to be out within 15 minutes of the noon checkout time. Otherwise, they charge you, and that seemed to be the kind of the theme for this entire thing. They want to charge you for everything now. The food, obviously this is an all-inclusive resort, so all of your beverages and food is included. Food average for an all-inclusive resort wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. It was just kind of right in the middle for most all-inclusive resorts. I will say, in my personal opinion, the buffet was a little bit better than the a la carte restaurants. The buffet, I found that they were a little bit more willing to, if you needed something prepared specifically, or if you had a special request, they were a little bit more willing to do that. Whereas the a la carte restaurants were just more of, this is our menu and this is what we're going to make you. It wasn't that they were necessarily bad, it's just they weren't my favorite. The buffet, I really like verde chilaquiles, and while they were on the buffet, they were willing to make those for me, like, as I asked for them, rather than me getting them off the buffet where they were soggy. So that was nice. I did tip them for that. But I would prefer the buffet over the a la carte at this restaurant. So Royalton has an upgrade package, and it's to the Diamond Club. So when you get to the Royalton, one of the cool things that they've done is, rather than having a hotel key, they put it on a bracelet, and that bracelet is your key to get into your room. So the bracelet is blue and silver, if I remember correctly, for just the regular Royalton guest, and it's black for the Diamond Club guests. And Diamond Club have a little bit more access, and they get premium beverages. One of the things they did open up for this particular resort, and I'm sure this has happened for some of the other resorts, I just haven't been to a Royalton in the past year, so this is the one I'm aware of. They've opened the Diamond Club pools to all guests, so it doesn't matter what level of guest you are, you can go to any of the Diamond level pools. The only thing is, they are going to charge you for any service, like drinks or food, that you receive at those Diamond Club pools if you're not a Diamond level guest. So you can go and have your fun in these very uncrowded pools. The problem is, if you want drinks or any type of food, you're going to have to pay for it, or you're going to have to get out of the pool and go get it somewhere else and bring it to. So that's just kind of the negative, but that's also where they're looking to get you an upgrade. You see all the empty spots and the availability of this area, and you get apparently better service and better rooms and all that good stuff if you're a Diamond Club guest, but you have to pay for that. So if you're looking for those type of services, that higher level, I would suggest you just go ahead and book at that level, or upgrade when you get there. That way you don't have to worry about it. You're already at Diamond level, you've got your black bracelet, you can go anywhere, get your premium drinks and all that good stuff right off the bat, rather than trying to go back and forth and get your drinks and food and still use the Diamond Club pools. Okay, so the things I didn't love about this particular resort. The vacation concierge. This is nothing but them trying to promote a timeshare, a vacation club, and pushing their discount vouchers. I'm not into that. I travel differently than that, and I definitely didn't like how annoying they were. Like, literally, they would follow you around trying to get you to take these vouchers where you're going to get discounts and yada, yada, yada. Don't care about any of that. We ended up getting that information, and we put it aside, and we never used it. So Royalton, get over that. Like, if you're gonna give that type of thing, I understand you're trying to make money off of it. I understand your timeshares or whatever. I'm the average guest, and I don't want that. So let me choose ahead of time. If I want that, let me come to the concierge, the vacation concierge. Otherwise, don't run around trying to chase me. I don't like that. Service. So service to me was mediocre. It required extra tipping, like, just to get service to you consistently. I tip a lot anyway, so I found that a little bit extraneous. I mean, why would I have to tip $5 or $10 to get you to come back and give me my drinks? It just doesn't make sense to me. So just, work on that you really need to work on the service. Either up the price and pay your people more, or just make sure that they don't have such huge areas that they can't come back frequently enough to give you the drinks that you want or food. Premium liquor. So if you're one of those people that really likes the premium liquor, go ahead and upgrade to the Diamond Club, because that is only included in the Diamond Club. Otherwise, you will have to pay an extra charge. So if you like your Grey Goose, that's part of the Diamond Club access, and it is an extra charge. Should you not want to do that for whatever reason, cost-wise, whatever, just be really nice to a bartender and tip them really well. Sometimes they'll give you some of the premium liquor, make you a decent drink. It's not going to happen all the time, but we did find a guy who was a great bartender, and he gave us the premium liquor, but we also probably paid him the same amount or more in tips that we would have paid just for buying the drinks. So just something to consider if you like premium liquors, that here in the United States I would consider average. They consider them premium there. So the beach space and pool chair space, if you're not a Diamond Club member, it's really hard to come by. So we were getting up by 7:30 to go and save us spots on the beach, and they were so tightly packed together. There was one day that we couldn't find spot for 3 chairs, find 3 chairs together on the beach. We actually just laid on the sand, which was okay for the day, but you don't want to do that every single day you're there. So just be aware that if you're not a Diamond Club member, people get up really early and go save their chairs. Now, as we were leaving, they did have information scrolling across the TVs that you couldn't save seats, and they would move things after it's been vacant for 30 minutes. Been to other resorts, and quite honestly, just the liability factor of someone moving your stuff, most of them won't move anything. They just do it as kind of a threat. I don't know if they did it or not. It was on the last day we were there, so I didn't get to see, but that is something that they could definitely improve upon. When you have your Diamond Club area half empty and you have your regular Royalton area completely overfilled and not enough space for people, definitely a disconnect there. I understand you're trying to get more money out of the Diamond Club area, but you've got to accommodate all your guests, so you really need to think through that. One of my biggest pet peeves, I really like a cold room when I'm sleeping, and this has been happening more and more as air conditioning and heating systems are becoming computerized and digitized and all that fun stuff. They're starting to monitor and regulate that. So what I found is waking up at 2 a.m., I would be sweating because they have regulated it. Instead of it being 68 in my room, it's now 75 or 80. Big issue with me. So if I want it 75 in my room, I would put it at 75. Otherwise, just let me put the temperature. I get that it's a cost-saving measure. I get that you have issues with people leaving doors open. You don't want all that stuff happening. But if everything else is shut and everything's the way it's supposed to be, and I want my room 68 degrees, let me have it at 68 degrees. I don't want it to be regulated to the point that I don't want to come back to your facility because I can't get my room temperature the way I want it to be. There were several areas that I think they should have mentioned ahead of time that were closed. The rooftop, for example, you won't see that in my resort tour, because honestly, I didn't know until I was heading up to do the video that the rooftop area was closed. I'm not sure how long it had been closed, if it just closed happened to be closed that particular day that I tried to do the video, but that really needs to be disclosed ahead of time, just so people who want to use the area, because it would be a beautiful view, very, very beautiful view, great photos from there. They want to be able to decide whether they want to go to your resort or not and have full access of your facilities, not have things being closed when you don't expect them. Another thing, this is a really big resort for this particular area. Most of the other resorts that I've been to at the hotel zone in Cancun, have been more boutique type hotels. This is not. They built a really large resort, a lot of rooms, and the elevator is not calibrated. So there were several times kind of toward the end of the day when people were coming out of the beach and off of the pool area, really gets backed up. You'd have to wait 5 to 10 minutes to get into an elevator to get you to your room. They just weren't, the elevators weren't calibrated properly. And as far as I could tell, I don't know that this is handicapped accessible to the beach and pool area. And the only reason I say that is I could not find an elevator that took me all the way to the bottom level, which is where the beach and the pool were. There was a set of stairs that you go from level 1 down. There was an elevator that was supposed to get you to the spa level, which was supposed to be on the same level as the pool and beach area, but I couldn't find a way to get outside from there. So maybe it was there and I just couldn't find it. Maybe it's well hidden. Maybe you have to have special access. Whatever the case may be, if you have any type of problem that you need to have an elevator access all the way to the ground level, which is where the pools and the beach are, you may want to call ahead of time and just make sure that that is available. Finally, I've been really impressed with Royalton in general, having really cool kiddie areas, like really cool slides and all of these waterfall, water features, all this cool stuff. The problem with this one was no one was using it. There were kids all in the hot tub, which was not a kiddie pool, and it was so ironic because it's literally probably 5 steps from the kiddie pool area, and it was the same depth. So I'm not really sure why parents were putting them in the hot tub like it was a kiddie pool versus just putting them in the kiddie area with all the fun kiddie toys. Maybe this is an issue with I don't know what the issue is. I don't know if it's just parents not wanting to move 5 feet to go to the kiddie area or not wanting to be sitting around the kiddie area. You're getting the same type of service, like literally it was 5 feet away. Not really sure what that is, but parents, hot tub isn't a kiddie pool. Nobody wants to get in the hot tub when there's 15 kids jumping in and around, and I'm sure doing whatever they do in the water. So just kind of a tip, if you wanted to get in the hot tub, it really wasn't feasible at this particular time. So that's my review of Royalton Suites Cancun. Like I said, this was probably my 5th Royalton resort that I've been to. And overall, I've had a positive experience at all of them. I would say I think it was called Riviera Cancun or Cancun Riviera Royalton was by far my favorite in the Mexico area. I liked it much, much better than Royalton Suites Cancun. One of my favorites was actually in Jamaica. It was a really cool resort there, the Royalton there in Jamaica, Negril. Really enjoyed that one as well. Overall, as a company, Royalton's are really great, kid-friendly. You can upgrade to Diamond Club for luxury. So I think it's a really good overall resort group if you want to try it. It's definitely not the least expensive. So if you're looking for something less expensive, this is not the route to go. I would say this is probably 4.5 to 5 star. Just in my opinion. I don't know what it's booked online as, but definitely a higher end hotel chain. I would not particularly go back to Royalton Suites Cancun and the hotel zone. It's just the hotel was way too big for the area. It was way too packed at the beach. There just wasn't enough seating. Pool was loud, and again, not enough seating. And honestly, for being only open a year, I was really surprised that the service wasn't better than it was. So if I had to choose from the Royalton resorts, I would go to the Royalton, I think it's called Riviera Cancun. Really great option. They also have a hideaway area that's adults only, so there's lots of different options. Or if you want to go to the Caribbean, go to Royalton Negril. Really liked that one. Overall, really like the Royalton, just not this particular resort. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop those below. If you like this and you like resort tours, give this video a thumbs up. I really like hearing back from you and making sure that I'm giving you guys the content you want to hear about. And if you have anything new that you want me to talk about, please let me know. I'm always looking for new resorts to go to, new cruises to go on. And if you have any questions about being a flight attendant, I can tell you all about that as well. I have another video coming up very soon just talking about being healthy while you're on the plane. And right now, as you guys know, with all the coronavirus issues going on, being healthy just in general is a really important topic, and especially if you're planning on traveling during all of this. So until next time, see you guys later.